Welcome back to Footballology. So first off, I want to apologize to you guys. I didn't get out all my off-season grades like I thought I would. I kind of procrastinated on that. That's on me. But if there's a specific team you want to see for an off-season grade, just let me know in the comment section below this video, and I'll put out that video for you guys. Just let me know, and I'm excited to put out that video. But moving on into the season, it's that time of year. We're a few days away from season kickoff on Thursday night with the Bucks and the Cowboys, and I'm excited myself. I got one more league in me. I'm in 3 leagues of fantasy football, and I'm in one. I got one more in me, and that's gonna be for my footballologist. So if you're watching this video and you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, just let me know on Twitter or Instagram, and you can go ahead and get signed up, and we can go ahead and play some fantasy football. Now, if you end up winning the league, you do get 50 bucks. I mean, I'm kind of excited, honestly. I had somebody win it last year, and I paid him out, and he thought it was just for fun and just a free league, and I actually paid him out. But yeah, if you're a subscriber to the YouTube channel, I want to do this for you guys. I'm excited, and here's the opportunity for me to kind of really connect with you guys and talk some football. I'm excited for the fantasy football as well because there's so many variables this year. There's no certainties. There people want certainties, but I don't feel like there's a lot of certainties this year, and that makes for good football in my opinion because that means there's going to be somebody that comes out of nowhere and blows it all up for us and do what they do every year and win the league for someone. But yeah, if you guys are excited for fantasy football and you want to be a part of a league and you're not a part of a league, or maybe you just got one more league in you, here's your opportunity to join my league. So here we go. I'm picking ninth overall. I'm kind of excited about this, honestly, and nervous. Picking this late into the draft in the first round, especially, doesn't really give me the opportunity to get a top tier running back, I feel like. Because a lot of times around this pick, you're picking like receivers, or even Kelsey has been going this late. So it's like, I really want to do you like pick 4, pick 5, somewhere around there. And I mean, that just puts you in the middle of the draft so that you don't get hurt on the turn. I know a lot of people like doing salary cap or salary drafts too, or auction drafts. Those are really fun as well. So we got Christian McCaffrey. I think that's like everybody's just doing that, and I like not Alvin Kamara or anybody. Like Alvin Kamara went third overall, but I like if I had number 1 overall, I'm taking Kamara over Christian McCaffrey just because I'm not sure where Christian McCaffrey is coming off of his ACL, or is it? It wasn't ACL. I think it was like an ankle. So I'm not sure what he is. So anyways. I would like to see that. Saquon went. Okay. If Zeke falls to me, I'm comfortable with taking Zeke. I have Zeke in. I'm in 3 leagues currently, and I have Zeke in 2 of the leagues. I would like to have him on all 3, so I'm comfortable with taking Zeke. But I end up going Saquon in one of my leagues, and I'm comfortable with him as well. Javonte Adams, that's a good one. So Zeke wound up following to me, and so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take Zeke. I think that's a really good pick if we can draft him. Okay, there we go. So I'm really good with that. Obviously, there's a lot of good reports coming out about Zeke and how he has lost some weight and he looks good and everything. I think the biggest question is, I don't think Dak's health really is based off his production. I think it's really about that offensive line. And if guys like Smith and Collins can stay healthy, if those guys can stay healthy, I think this offensive line is going to open up so many holes for Zeke in this run game. And then obviously open up things for Dak Prescott and those 3 receivers they got there. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they go about things in Dallas. But like I said, ultimately, and hopefully Mike McCarthy understands now. Like when he was in Green Bay, they kind of complained about him not wanting the ball, not running the ball enough, and so forth and so on. And then he goes to Dallas in the first year, in the first couple of games before Dak goes down. They didn't run the ball enough, and they just kind of threw. And so, like, now, hopefully Mike McCarthy has had enough bad juju and understands that running the ball is going to be my best way to really have some level of success. I think even in his Super Bowl year, they ran the ball decently. Who is it? Ryan Grant, maybe? That sounds wrong. I know James Starks was probably there as well. I'm trying to think who that running back is. I can't think who that running back was. But anyways, but yeah, hopefully he learned his lesson. He's willing to actually go ahead and run the ball with Zeke and feed Zeke, because if that's the case, I think Zeke is up for a big year, especially if the offensive line stays healthy. So now here it comes, the turn of the pick, and I don't know what this guy Jones is going to do, but if he ends up taking Gibson, then so be it. Okay. So this is interesting. I'm looking at AJ Brown a lot in my leagues. I like DK Metcalf as well, but Gibson is staring me right in my face, and I like him as well because I think he's going to have an opportunity to do something. But I want a top receiver, so I'm going to go with DK Metcalf. I got him in several leagues as well. I'm excited for DK Metcalf. Once again, I'm comfortable with taking him 110%. I think that he's not quite the one there, but he's close to a number one receiver in Seattle. And they keep saying they're gonna let Russ cook, and I think that that's gonna benefit DK Metcalf. Uh, we're gonna see what's gonna happen with him and Jalen Ramsey, because those two games were wild and things got out of control. So hopefully they don't end up fighting each other, um, but hopefully that everything goes really well for those guys, because if they do, then oh yeah, it's gonna be exciting. And I think it's just gonna be for quality content and quality football. But anyways, back to the draft. So now we're gonna pick late in third round. We have this big gap that we're sitting on, which is cool. I think now we start scrolling down. We start looking at guys like, I don't know if he makes it to me, but David Montgomery is a guy that I really like and I'm comfortable taking. DeAndre Swift, he's trending in the right direction right now. His injuries kind of concern me, but if we take the injury out of the equation and we just look at him as a player, I think that's a really good pick as well. Chris Carson once again, but because I went DK Metcalf and not AJ Brown, I'm not too comfortable with that. I would rather, if I would have had AJ Brown, then Chris Carson definitely would have been on my radar. I'm looking for another running back, because it seems like when you get later in the draft, the running back value just isn't there anymore, and then you're just kind of picking your poison and seeing what you're really gonna want. So try to get the running back as early as possible. And that's why I can't justify taking the tight end early too. Plus, I got a super sleeper that no one's talking about, and I'm so excited. I did this 2 years ago with Darren Waller, and so I'm hoping that this pays dividends as well as what I did when I took Darren Waller 2 years ago. So hopefully, I don't know. We got Terry McLaurin. I think Terry McLaurin's a good one. That's a good one. So Montgomery's not gonna make it to us because we got two auto picks in front of us, so that's fine. Then we scroll down a little bit. I'm thinking. See, this is where a lot of good Croft and wide receivers are at. That Chris Carson is so tempting. That Chris Carson is extremely tempting, just for the simple fact that he's still a good running back and he's in a good situation. And I think he's obviously going to get his fair share of touches. Even if it's in the passing game, I think he's still going to get his fair share of touches. There's no one really there to truly challenge him, and Rashad Penny's coming off his injury. And I really like Rashad Penny, but with him coming off his injury, you just never know. Oh, somebody took. Okay, so Chris Carson's gone. Allen Robinson, that's another good pickup. Montgomery's going to go on this auto pick, unfortunately. Or maybe here. Nope, there's Montgomery. So that's where, see, this is where we get Swift. And like I said, I'm comfortable with taking Swift. Jacobs is another good one. Javonte Williams is another good one. If I get, so let's try this. So we're going to try to go receiver here. What receiver do I really like? I got Zeke, so I don't want Amari. Adam Thielen's decent. Don't need Tyler Lockett. Robert Woods is not my cup of tea. I think we're still going to mess with Swift. I think we got to go running back. So we're going to go Swift. I really want Javonte Williams. So I think I have Javonte Williams in exactly every league that I'm playing in this year. So Javonte Williams is a must-have in my opinion. I'm just excited for his opportunity in Denver. I think he has a lot of upside. And so hopefully that's a thing. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So we'll see if he makes it to us. If he makes it to us, Javonte Williams in the fourth round. And I think that's about where I've been getting him mostly. It's about the fourth round, and I love it. I think he's a pick. And I got him in a Dynasty League too, so you know what that means. Hold over. But yeah. And like I said, when it gets later in the draft, I think the value of running back really drops off. And so I'm okay with going running back early and often. Once again, early quarterback, it's never been my strategy. It's never been my cup of tea. But hopefully my guy pans out. My guys, I got two guys this year. And last year he burned me. One of my guys burned me last year. But hopefully, my fingers crossed, Carson Wentz doesn't burn me this year. Because if Carson Wentz burns me this year, I'm gonna be really sad. And and I'm gonna do what I did with him, what I did with Tannehill. Because I was on Tannehill for like 2 years straight. And then Tannehill wound up, he just wound up burning me those 2 years. Then went up to Tennessee and ended up earning the job over Mariota. And then the rest is history. So we did get lucky enough, and we got Javonte to fall to us. So we're gonna go Javonte Williams. So now we got pretty much. I'm really comfortable at running back now. So we need to roll over to receiver, and we start looking at some of our receivers. And if you look at some of the receivers that are still remaining on the board, there's a good number or a good amount of receivers still on the board. Let's see, we got Kenny Galladay, T. Higgins. I'm okay with Brandon Ayuk. A lot of people have sold me on him. I'm kind of comfortable with him and his situation and what his role is going to be. I got Juju in one league, and I'm just I don't hate Juju. I think Juju's a really good receiver, but I just don't know how I feel about that. Jerry Judy's another good receiver that you can get around here. Cortland Sutton, no one's really talking about him, and that's a really interesting one because I don't know what to expect. He's coming off an injury, and his quarterback situation is really sketchy too. But because I got Javonte Williams, I kind of want to stay away from Judy and Sutton. But those are true options that you can get right here, or we're coming up on or in the 5th round. So those are really good, strong options you can still get there as well. So we have Chase Claypool. I think he's a big body threat and a big true threat. So now T. Higgins makes it to us. I'm really getting on T. Higgins, but we got an auto pick in front of us, so T. Higgins is going to roll. Kareem Hunt, don't sleep on Kareem Hunt. I think Kareem Hunt is a solid flex start. This thing is like blowing my ears up right now. Okay, but Kareem Hunt is a solid flex start, I think, and possibly could be a high-end RB2, or at least low-end RB2. All right, so here we are. It's telling me Kenny Galladay, and I'm indifferent about that because his quarterback situation. So what we're gonna do is go OBJ. I do have OBJ in one of my leagues, and I'm okay with that. So we got another receiver, and we're gonna look at some more receivers. Considering where we're picking, we're gonna scroll down a little bit more. So we can go Tyler Boyd, and I like his situation. Laviska Shenault, he has a really good situation as well with the new quarterback being there. DJ Chark is one guy that I like, so he's later. Also, I've been getting Michael Thomas in a lot of my leagues, and I've been getting a lot of criticism because obviously he's not going to be playing for the first couple of weeks. But if I can, for 6 weeks, if I can go 3-3 for 6 weeks without Michael Thomas, and then Michael Thomas comes back and he's at Michael Thomas status again, oh. Yes, I would feel like a madman. I would feel like a genius. So we're still rolling through. Let's see what else we got. And so Juju comes off the board. Cortland Sutton is still sitting there. I definitely want to get another receiver here. Michael Gallup is interesting, but once again we got Zeke, and I don't like stacking receiver and running backs. I rather stack a quarterback and a receiver, or even a quarterback and a running back. But I don't like stacking receivers and running backs. It never felt comfortable to me. It's never been one of my true strategy. Corey Davis is a really interesting one this year too. So there's some tight ends out there. So we got Hawkinson. Logan Thomas is a really good tight end. I think he's going to be a lot of utilization this year. So I'm thinking maybe we'll go Robert Tonyan here because I'm not liking any of the receivers and I don't want to reach for anybody. I said Logan Thomas and then somebody takes him. Okay. Anyway, so I don't want to reach for any tight end right here. So what I think I'm doing, I like Claypool. I'm comfortable with Claypool, and that's where we're going to go. We're going to wind up picking Chase Claypool, and I'm okay with that. I'm completely 100% okay with that. And then we're going to scroll down a little bit ways. We got Corey Davis is still there. DJ Chark is still there. So this collective group of receivers, right, or I would say all 4 of these guys, is really intriguing. So we have Michael Thomas obviously doing Michael Thomas things, right? For about 6 weeks you won't have him. Are you willing to take that L? I think you have to stack your wide receiver room, you stack wide receivers, and then you can live. And then we got DJ Chark, who has a new quarterback, and we know DJ Chark has proven that he could possibly be a number 1 or a true deep threat kind of guy. And the same thing for Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones could possibly be a solid, I wouldn't say a solid 1, but like a 1B, if you will. And so, we got Marvin Jones, and it seemed like him and Trevor Lawrence had a really strong connection during the preseason, so that's interesting to me as well. Then we have Corey Davis here. Corey Davis, I feel like is the only, they got Jamison Crowder, but I feel like he is the only receiver there. And in New York with the Jets. So that's interesting as well. So what I'm thinking, let's go see if there's any running backs left that we might want. Sonny Michel, I think his value is very underrated right now. I think he has really good value, and I think that's a really good pick if you can possibly get him. Okay, and then my computer just started lagging on me. So Sonny Michel is definitely an option. I think I'm probably going to be comfortable with taking Sonny Michel if he falls to me here. So what we're going to do, we're going to go Sonny Michel. I'm okay with that. And that gives me another running back. That gives me 4 running backs. Now, so what I mean by late running back. So Sonny Michel is just pure upside, right? So we got Singletary and Moss, and I think those are really interesting pickups if you decide to go that route. Michael Carter with the Jets is a really good one too. Trey Sermon, I think you got to hold your breath for a little bit because Raheem Mostert's there. But I think eventually Sermon's going to start getting some touches. And so that could be a strong possibility there as well. And then we scroll down. I'm still a big DJ fan. I will die a David Johnson fan. 110%. David Johnson's my go-to guy. He's my running back. I think he's a good, solid running back. He's my guy, and I will go to my grave saying that. And but then we scroll down some ways. I wish they had like a cursor or something because it like jumps on me. Let's see. And then you scroll down, and it's like you get down to these later parts. And he's like, I'm truly not excited about any of these running backs here. Maybe Chuba Hubbard, and that's way deep down there, and that's something you don't even have to consider yourself or concern yourself with right now. So we're gonna look at some receivers. It's Debo Samuel. I said Corey Davis. For this case, though, if I was drafting for real, I'm taking Michael Thomas here, and this is where what's this? The 8th round. So this is probably the latest I've actually taken Michael Thomas. I want to say I think I took him kind of early last night in one of my drafts. I took him like the 6th round, I want to say, or something like that. So, but yeah, this is great value for Michael Thomas, and cool. Now we got Michael Thomas sitting in the waitings, and we're just gonna hang out and have our fingers crossed and hope for the best. But that cluster, those 4 receivers that sit on top of each other, Corey Davis, Marvin Jones, DJ Chark, and Michael Thomas, they're all like clustered up right there, and that's a really interesting cluster because it's like you can get a lot of potential and a lot of value out of that. You just got to know who to pick, and hopefully you pick the right one. In my case, I'm taking Michael Thomas out of that with the hopes that he comes back and he tears it up. Marquez Callaway, once again, another late receiver. And in this case, I would be handcuffing Michael Thomas, or getting Michael Thomas as handcuff, if you will, because I think Callaway had a lot of good showing in preseason and was a guy that I think it was a guy that a lot of people didn't understand and didn't know anything about it. And that we now know what he possibly is going to be within this offense. So we got Pittman or Callaway, and Pittman's going to be the true receiver, and Carson Wentz is probably going to be one of my quarterbacks, so I'm going to go with Pittman right here. And so now we got Pittman, and we're rolling up onto the 10th round. So how many receivers? We got 5 receivers, and then we got 4 running backs. So we're going to come over to running backs. We got David Johnson, Michael Carter. Look at some of the quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield is another quarterback that I'm really interested in because I got OBJ. I'm okay with that. We're going to look at some tight ends. I'm going to hold off on all the tight ends right now. And we're going to go to wide receivers. And we're going to look at some receivers. So I think we're going to go Callaway. I think we're just going to go Callaway right here. Pittman went already. Oh, yeah, I took Pittman, duh. So we're going to go Callaway. I took Pittman. That was on me. So we're going to go Callaway right there. We got 6 receivers, technically 5 for the first couple of weeks because of Michael Thomas. We're going to look at one more running back. Like I said, Chuba Hubbard, Ramondre Stevenson. That's a really good one, too. I think he might get some work. Maybe not as early in the year, but definitely late in the year as a guy that you can look at. Chuba Hubbard was another guy that I really like. Then scrolling, Jared Patterson. If you're looking for like I would say a super sleeper, Jared fucking Patterson. He looked really good for the Washington football team. So if you're really serious about some sleeper action, don't sleep on Jared Patterson. And so like see the running back value just becomes really dirty around here. And one of these guys, we know for a fact one of these guys are gonna jump up and end up winning somebody in one of the leagues. So, and that's why I feel like personally you got to go running back early, because if you don't, then you end up finding yourself in a situation where you won't get a quality running back later. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go one more running back right here, and then we're really going to go to the other 2 positions, or the other positions. You got to stack the point makers, right? You got to stack the money makers. I stacked the money makers. I'm going to go 5 running backs, and we're going to end up having 5 receivers just for the first couple of weeks. I got enough running backs. I love my receivers. I think we're gonna end up having a really solid team. So we got Stevenson is a strong option. Not a fan of Philip Lindsay or J.D. McKissick. Malcolm Brown, no. I think. Okay, so we're just gonna go quarterback at this point because I'm not seeing anything. I'm not in love with anything there. And see, so we got Baker is a strong option, and then Wentz is buried. Okay. I really don't, you know what? I'm just gonna take.
Make your pick.
Okay, why do you have to say that in my ear? Where's my? There, I'm gonna take my defense. I'm just gonna take my defense now. Patriots defense, must have, need. 1000%. If you're sleeping, if you're not getting the Patriots defense, you're sleeping. And then we're gonna go get our kicker. And we're gonna get a kicker. It's either Buckner or Tucker, and you're gonna get a quality kicker. So I got my kicker and my defense. Like I said, Patriots defense. If you're not messing with them this year, you sleeping. I think I said it in several videos already that the Patriots defense will be real this year. It will be something to really be in awe of. I think it's gonna be back to, what was it? Their nickname was like the Boogeyman or something like that. So they're gonna be right there once again. So if that's the thing, which I believe it is, then I think you definitely need to get on the Patriots wagon before it's too late. So the reason why I took my kicker and my defense right there is because I can still get good value at the quarterback position. We've seen how deep Wentz was, and we've seen how deep our other guy is, and now we're about to go in and we're gonna go get our guys. We're gonna get our tight end, we're gonna get our receiver, or we're gonna get our tight end, we're gonna get a quarterback, and we're gonna be live. It's gonna be nice. So we still got 2 quarterbacks to go, and we're probably gonna do 2 tight ends. And I'm comfortable with taking both or all 4 of those guys right here, because look at what quarterbacks still. So we're still got starters on the board for 1. So we got Ben Roethlisberger, who has been noted to look really good right now. Brian Edwards. This is really interesting. Brian Edwards is. But we have Ben Roethlisberger, who has been, like stories have come out of him losing weight, looking better in camp, so forth and so on. We got Trevor Lawrence, who's still a starter quarterback, who could possibly have some upside. We don't know. Justin Fields is another guy everybody's excited about. Ryan Fitzpatrick is good for about 6 games if you can find those 6 games. But this man right here, I'm putting all my chips in on Jameis this year. I'm putting everything to the middle of the table for Jameis Winston. Hopefully he doesn't let me down. And we still got Carson Wentz. And then we're going to take Carson Wentz. So those are my 2 quarterbacks. And you still got Mac Jones, Jared Goff, Teddy B, Sam Darnold. And I mean, granted, these guys aren't going to give you crazy points, but what they're going to do is give you some quality play here and there. And I think that's what you ultimately need, especially if you do such a good job at the running back and tight end or running back and receiver position. I think you can hope that your quarterback can come out and give you anywhere from 15 to 20 points. So then we move over to the tight end position. Now look at the tight ends that's still left. So we got Ebron, who wasn't the greatest tight end last year, but I think it's still doable. And still can get the job done. Zach Ertz, he might end up getting traded. AJ Green is a late pick, is a really solid, strong pick. So Troutman, because I got Thomas Callaway and Winston. I'm a Saints fan all of a sudden. I don't know what happened overnight. So we're looking at some of the tight ends. So we can go Ebron here, Zach Ertz, because Zach Ertz can get some play. Anthony Frisker, I'm not sure about him, honestly. Gerald Everett, I've seen this. People say that's a really good pickup. So, and then Dawson Knox might get some touches this year.
Quick, make your pick.
Okay, this dude's like yelling on here. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna go Ebron, just for the sake of argument right here. It would have been him or Ertz. I don't know why Ertz is so buried. But the super sleeper, the guy that I've been getting, you heard it here. If you watch this video all the way through, Tyler Croft will be the tight end this year. He will finish, in my personal opinion, as a top 3 tight end. I think, and I feel it. And just a second, I'm gonna tell you guys all about it. And let this, I don't know if it's gonna scream in my ear again, but my theory. So here's my theory. You follow the coaches in fantasy football. Forget everything else anybody else has ever said to you. You follow your coaches. Always follow the coaches when it comes to fantasy football. When it comes to Tyler Croft, he's in a system where I think Mike LaFleur, who's Matt LaFleur's brother, who's part of or a disciple from the Kyle Shanahan tree / Mike Shanahan tree. And one thing that all those systems all across the board have in common are tight ends. They have good quality tight ends, zone blocking schemes, and really strong stuff. And that's why Michael Carter is even a good play in this instance, because Michael Carter could possibly be a really good. Even with his size and stature, Michael Carter could still possibly be something special with the Jets scheme. But Mike LaFleur is the OC with the Jets. Robert Salas is coming over from San Fran. San Fran had what? George Kittle. I'm gonna say Jared Kittle, but George Kittle. And they love the tight ends. They love to use the tight ends. You have a rookie quarterback in Zach Wilson. People forget Tyler Croft had a 2-touchdown game. And then they got rid of Chris Harbison. I think that's how he says it. Henderson. I don't know why I'm butchering his name now. I know who I'm talking about. And then they wind up practice squading their rookie. Their starting tight end is Tyler Croft. And people, I've taken him in almost every league, and people are just like, what? Huh? Tyler effing Croft will be a top 3 tight end. I'm telling you now, and I'm sticking to it. This guy could possibly win some people some leagues. I just bank on it. That's all I had. That's all I want to say. That's my super sleeper. But I love this team. Real quick, we got Jameis Winston. We got Michael Thomas, who could possibly come back and team up with Jameis Winston. We got Carson Wentz and Michael Pittman. So Carson Wentz, Michael Pittman. We got DK Metcalf, OBJ, Eric Ebron. No Ebron. Tyler Croft. Patriots defense, I think, is going to be back to form. Justin Tucker, who's one of the, if not the best kicker in the league right now. And then we got Sony Michel with a lot of upside. You look at my bench just has a lot of upside. It's just upside bench, and that's where I'm really banking on. But I love my starters. I love my bench. I think Callaway is going to give me some quality play for a couple of weeks. If him and Jameis Winston can connect, I can easily flex out OBJ and then pit in Callaway at the wide receiver 2 spot with DK Metcalf, who's the number 1 in Seattle. I love this team. I'm excited. Obviously, I love this team. I drafted. It's perfect. That's all I have for you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, sorry it was so long, but I really want to kind of just announce that I'm doing a fantasy football league from my Footballologist. Remember that, and make sure that you hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. Let me know that you're interested, and I'll send you a link, and I'm gonna get this league up. It's free to enter, and the grand prize is $50 if you win it and you take it all home. And I'm gonna be in it myself, so you get to challenge me and challenge my knowledge and beat me. Hopefully you don't, because I don't want to give up no money. But anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, and if you're not a Footballologist yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. Gonna hit that subscribe button now and become a Footballologist today. And stay safe, football fans. What was that? 30